role because I've only done a few films, 3 I think, and in all of them I end up slapping somebody. So I was like, oh no, oh no.
Just trying to get out of your arm span.
Yes, I said, I don't want to do another movie where I have to have a fight or have to beat somebody up. But this is how Ava convinced me to actually play the role. She sent me an article about the real Annie Lee Cooper, who lived to be 100 years old. She just passed in 2010. And this is how Ava got me. In the article, she underlined that Annie Lee Cooper watched the Oprah show. Every day at 4 o'clock, while eating a tuna fish sandwich. And Ava said, don't you think it would mean a lot to her? That's how that happened. I was like, okay. So, and then when I started to think about, I am a student of my history. I am who I am and where I am because when I was a little girl, I knew all of Fannie Lou Hamer's speeches and Sojourner Truth's speeches, and I knew every poem in the Negro Caravan, which is a book of Negro poetry. I come from the understanding that wherever I go, I get there because there's a path that has been carved and created for me. And I fully understand that I stand on the shoulders of other people who made my life possible. And it just, and that Dr. King, I actually live up in Santa Barbara and I have a house. And for a long time I called it Terror 2. And then one morning I looked out the window and I said, Scarlett O'Hara wishes she had this. And I was really thinking about what is it? What does this property mean to me? It means that I got to fulfill the true promise, the true dream that Dr. King had for all of us. And so I call my space there, the promised land. So for me, Annie Lee Cooper and the community of women represents my great-great-grandmother, my grandmother, my aunts, my grandfathers, all the people who wished and dreamed and not even inside themselves could imagine the kind of life that I now get to experience in this world. And so when I, take that walk to do that vote, I don't think about just Annie Lee Cooper, I think about everybody who did that. And she represents, that character to me, represents everybody who had the dream that there could be a better day and a better way. That was the 5th time she had done that. She had been, can you imagine? You're just trying to vote, and every single time you go, there's another test that you can't pass. It's name how many Gumby balls are in the machine on the registrar's desk. It's
how many bubbles in a bar of soap.
How many bubbles in a bar of soap. How many, and what's the Constitution? So the last time it was the Constitution, so that's why she came in knowing it, memorizing it, but she didn't know how many registrars, how many county judges. So every time you're just trying to think, how can I?
But he didn't either, actually.
And yeah, right.
He didn't know either.
He didn't know either. And so when you speak about community, to me, it's about the community from which I came from. My grandmother was a maid. My mother was a maid. My grandmother's biggest dream for me growing up, she used to say to me, I hope you grow up and get some good white folks like I had. She would be so shocked to know that I really did. Grow up and get some good white folks working for me. She would be so shocked. She did. That was
I love her.
Like, I hope you grow up and I hope you get some good white folks. So...
Why am I here?
Yes.
Let me ask you guys though, because as producers, you guys are clearly attracted